When you trust yourself completely, you stop waiting for permission from the world and start moving with quiet confidence toward the life you know you deserve. Trusting yourself completely means listening to your inner voice, even when it whispers instead of screams. Because deep down it already knows the truth. When self-trust becomes unshakable, doubt loses its power and fear no longer controls the direction of your choices. Trusting yourself completely allows you to walk alone if necessary, knowing that alignment is more important than approval. When you trust yourself fully, mistakes stop feeling like failures and start feeling like lessons designed to strengthen you. Complete self-trust gives you the courage to say no to paths that look safe but feel wrong in your heart. When you trust yourself, you no longer chase validation because you become your own source of belief and strength. Trusting yourself completely means choosing growth over comfort, even when comfort feels easier in the moment. When self-trust is solid, outside opinions become information, not instructions for how you should live. Trusting yourself completely helps you remain calm in chaos, because you know you can handle whatever comes next. When you trust yourself, you stop overthinking every decision and start acting with clarity and purpose. Complete self-trust allows you to move forward even when the outcome is uncertain, because you trust your ability to adapt. When you trust yourself deeply, you stop comparing your journey to others and focus on your own progress. Trusting yourself completely means honoring your instincts, even when logic cannot fully explain them. When self-trust is present, setbacks no longer break you because you believe in your power to rebuild. Trusting yourself completely helps you stay true to your values, even when compromise seems tempting. When you trust yourself, you stop rushing and allow life to unfold at the pace meant for you. Complete self-trust transforms fear into fuel, pushing you forward instead of holding you back. When you trust yourself, you no longer need constant reassurance because your belief comes from within. Trusting yourself completely allows you to take risks, knowing that growth lives on the other side of fear. When self-trust is strong, rejection loses its sting because your worth is no longer up for debate. Trusting yourself completely gives you permission to evolve without apologizing for who you are becoming. When you trust yourself, you stop seeking perfect timing and start creating meaningful moments. Complete self-trust allows you to make bold decisions, even when the path ahead is unclear. When you trust yourself deeply, you learn to stand firm, even when the ground beneath you shifts. Trusting yourself completely means believing in your resilience more than worrying about potential outcomes. When self-trust is present, you stop doubting your past choices and start focusing on future possibilities. Trusting yourself completely gives you the strength to walk away from what drains your energy. When you trust yourself, confidence becomes quiet, steady, and unbreakable. Complete self-trust allows you to accept responsibility for your life without feeling overwhelmed by it. When you trust yourself fully, you no longer need to explain your vision to people who cannot see it. Trusting yourself completely helps you stay patient during delays, knowing progress is still happening. When self-trust is strong, you stop fearing judgment and start embracing authenticity. Trusting yourself completely gives you clarity in moments when everything feels uncertain. When you trust yourself, you stop asking, "What if I fail?" and start asking, "What if I succeed?" Complete self-trust helps you recover faster because you believe in your ability to rise again. When you trust yourself deeply, you no longer betray your needs to please others. Trusting yourself completely allows you to trust the process, even when results take time. When self-trust grows, self-doubt slowly fades into the background. Trusting yourself completely means choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term comfort. When you trust yourself, your decisions become aligned with who you truly are. Complete self-trust allows you to face challenges with courage instead of avoidance. When you trust yourself deeply, you understand that growth requires discomfort. Trusting yourself completely helps you remain grounded even during success. When self-trust is present, you stop chasing perfection and start embracing progress. Trusting yourself completely means believing you are capable even before proof appears. When you trust yourself, your energy shifts from worry to action. Complete self-trust allows you to move forward without needing all the answers. When you trust yourself deeply, you trust your timing, not society's expectations. Trusting yourself completely gives you freedom from constant second-guessing. When self-trust is strong, you learn to trust silence as much as movement. Trusting yourself completely helps you take responsibility without self-blame. When you trust yourself, confidence becomes a habit, not an effort. Complete self-trust allows you to turn obstacles into stepping stones. When you trust yourself deeply, you stop fearing change and start welcoming growth. Trusting yourself completely helps you stay focused even when distractions appear. When self-trust is present, your decisions feel lighter and clearer. Trusting yourself completely allows you to forgive yourself and move forward. When you trust yourself, you stop waiting for motivation and start acting with discipline. Complete self-trust gives you the courage to follow your own path. When you trust yourself deeply, you learn that confidence is built through action. Trusting yourself completely helps you trust life itself. When self-trust grows, inner peace naturally follows. Trusting yourself completely allows you to stand tall even in uncertainty. When you trust yourself, self-respect becomes non-negotiable. Complete self-trust teaches you that failure is not final. When you trust yourself deeply, you stop fearing being misunderstood. Trusting yourself completely allows you to choose courage over comfort. When self-trust is strong, comparison loses its grip. Trusting yourself completely helps you honor your boundaries. When you trust yourself, you become your own safe place. Complete self-trust gives you emotional stability in unstable situations. When you trust yourself deeply, patience becomes easier. Trusting yourself completely allows you to act without hesitation. When self-trust is present, self-respect grows naturally. Trusting yourself completely means believing in your vision even when progress is slow. When you trust yourself, courage becomes your default response. Complete self-trust helps you turn fear into focus. When you trust yourself deeply, you stop outsourcing your happiness. Trusting yourself completely allows you to move forward without regret. When self-trust is strong, resilience becomes natural. Trusting yourself completely helps you trust your growth. When you trust yourself, you stop shrinking to fit in. Complete self-trust allows you to lead your life intentionally. When you trust yourself deeply, clarity replaces confusion. Trusting yourself completely gives you emotional independence. When self-trust grows, confidence follows effortlessly. Trusting yourself completely allows you to trust your decisions. When you trust yourself, fear no longer controls your actions. Complete self-trust helps you embrace uncertainty with calmness. When you trust yourself deeply, self-belief becomes unstoppable. Trusting yourself completely allows you to live authentically. When self-trust is present, peace becomes permanent. Trusting yourself completely gives you inner strength. When you trust yourself, hesitation disappears. Complete self-trust allows you to trust your journey. When you trust yourself deeply, confidence becomes your foundation. Trusting yourself completely helps you move forward boldly. When self-trust is strong, your mindset transforms. When you trust yourself completely, you unlock the power to become everything you were meant to be.